guys doing today? I think I might have to put a little bit more light in here. Hold on. Let's see how we're going to do this. Trying to get it where the glare is not so much in your face. Excuse the lighting today. I want to welcome you. If this is your first time to Starfire's channel, hello. Glad to see you. Today I want to talk to you about having a cup of tea with the ancestors. People wonder about how to reach out to their ancestors, and the simplest way is to sit down and talk to them. Now, if you don't drink tea, try coffee, whatever it takes. But that's all you need. It's going to benefit you. It's going to benefit them because you build a relationship. I'm fixing this camera, you guys, bear with me. Because you build a relationship with them. On my ancestors' altar, I have quite a few family members. Unfortunately, you know, they were older, much older. I have my brother, who I lost at only, I believe he was 54 when he died of cancer. And those of you that have been with me know that I've lost my mother. And she has her own altar. That's my queen, you know. I miss them all, truly. My mother's death has really gotten me more and more into the ancestors. We have to learn to communicate with them. People say, well, how do you start out with your ancestors? The first thing you have to do is be willing. Not even build the altar. You have to be willing to work with them. Be willing to have an open mind. Be willing to listen. And be willing to take their discipline. Because they will discipline you. They will give you corrective criticism. Because that's who they are in your life. Your grandma, your mom, your dad, your grandpa. That's how they were. My older brother, you know, things like that. They're still that way. When they go over to the next realm, their personalities doesn't change. Oh, my mama's still feisty. She just feisty on the other side. Trust me. You know, my brother's still a flirt. He just a flirt on the other side. Things like that. You have to acknowledge that. I'm trying to get this where you guys can see me, not so dark. Sorry about the lighting today. You have to acknowledge that they're still them. They see your hurt. They see your pain. And you have to find a way to communicate with them. So let's say you're willing. You're willing to deal with the ancestors, which has been taken away from us for years. You know, different tribes, Indian tribes, African tribes, people over in Egypt, which we know is in Africa. Some people act like it's not, but it is. Look it up. Our ancestors guide us. Santa Maria, the Day of the Dead. We acknowledge our ancestors. But here in America, we seem to want to just bury them and say that's it. And that's not it. There's more to it. So now that you're willing to listen, to obey, and I do say obey because you're going to ask them for things, and in order for these to happen, you have to listen to what they say and do what they say. You're going to build their altar. Now, please, I mentioned this before, place pictures of them on your altar. But make sure that there's no live people on there because they're not dead. They don't need to be on that altar. That altar is strictly for the dead. Like I said, a cup of tea with the ancestors. So you want to make it pretty. You don't want to just throw up anything. I have a black tablecloth on mine, and I had a yellow and blue one. And I went on and put the black one on. I'm about to change it because I found that for me, the color black is not my color anymore. My deities and my God Almighty pull you into the brighter colors, because the brighter colors you are in and you have surrounding you, the better you feel. So I had to get them a new cloth. But they have, I have stones for earth for them. I have water. I have frankincense. I have a witch's ball on all my altars, my mom's and my ancestors, you know, both my ancestors' altar, to make sure that any negativity that tries to go into the spiritual world is trapped in that witch's ball. That's my preference. Everyone doesn't do that, but I know that they have to be protected on the other side, just like they have to be, like we have to be protected here. I like white candles for protection for them, and I make sure that I try to put on there what they like. I have a certain candle that I put tea candles in that has a scent, you know, for my ancestors. I give them coffee. I give them wine today. Even my deity, Ashun, I give her things today. We're all having tea together. My mother has her tea. My ancestors on there, my family members have theirs, and Sean has her tea with honey in it. I made her special. I tasted the honey again, even though it's her honey. The little bear of honey I have sitting on her altar, every time I offer her honey, when I open it, I still taste it. And she has honey. So all of us are having tea today, and we've invited you guys to have tea with us, with this knowledge. You want to give them things on the altar that they like. My mom had knickknacks, these little porcelain things like little bells. Bells were her favorites. So I made sure that those things are on her altar, and they're actually hers. So she has some things with her. The old saying that you can't take it with you depends on how you look at it. I like different colored candles for them. I also give them ancestor money because, you know, they have to pay for things on that side. And people don't understand that. So I wanted to show you the ancestor money. This is ancestor money, which I burn in my cauldron. And I burn like 3 or 4, and I ask them to divide it among themselves. Okay, so that they all have money over on the other side. Because just like here, they have debts that need to be paid. And I don't like my family members to struggle. So if I can help them, I will. You have to be able to get in tune with your ancestors through meditation. Without meditation, it won't work. One of the best ways to for them to reach out to you, they'll come in your dreams. My mom came to me regarding Oshun in a dream last week. The two of them came together. I won't go into detail, but it was very enlightening. I've had my brother come to me, and we were sitting in this long driveway. It was a black tar, and he was laying down with his head like this, and I had my head on his stomach, on the side, his side, and we were looking up at the clouds. You know how kids look at the clouds and decide what do you see in the clouds. And because my brother told me he would never leave me, when he found out that he had cancer, he was already far, far gone into the cancer. It was colon cancer. And he told me, I'm not going to leave you. I'm going to beat this. So when he did die, my heart ached forever. My brother was a very, I won't say was, he still is a very dear part of my life. And when he died, I got angry with him. Oh, how angry did I get? Because my brother told me he was going to beat this. But he came home before he passed, and him and I went for a ride, and he said he was tired. I'm like, what do you mean tired? He's like, if I would have known that going through the chemo and everything that it did me like this, just to live another 2 years, I would have rather lived 1 good year enjoying my life, my children, and my family. It bothered me because I knew he was giving up at that point. To me, that's pretty much what he was telling me. He was tired. And that was in December. My brother died in March. And I got to hear him on the phone. We're in different states. My older sister went there. And I got to tell him goodbye. And I got to tell him I love him and thank you. It was hard. Very hard. And I've also lost a couple other brothers. And lost my grandmothers, my mom. I've lost a lot. And even now, though I know I can reach them in the spiritual realm, I still miss them tremendously. But in that dream, my brother told me, I didn't leave you. And I said, you promised me. He goes, I didn't leave you. And I did beat it. I'm no longer in pain. I'm no longer suffering. I'm at peace, and I'm still with you. And that dream was amazing to me. I had a brother that was murdered and came to me in a dream and told me some things, and we found them to be true. Now my mom's gone. And it's like, what do you do? Well, you kind of regroup and have a cup of tea with the elders. Ancestors, I should say. My mom's an elder, that's why I said that. But I smelled her a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago. She's been gone now 3 months. And I smelled her in my bed. I woke up out of my sleep. I smelled her so much. But I also found that when you're in a deep, deep mourning, it's hard for them to come to you because she's transitioning over to a whole new life. So she has a lot of work on her plate. She's visited my children, two of my children, with no problem at all. And then came back and visited my oldest son, the piece of paper, which was just amazing. He put on a jacket and that he hadn't worn in years. And he reached in his pocket and there was a grocery list for my mom. And it was on the left side by his heart. So he was like, she let me know she with me. Right, right. So these things can happen. They're there. Just have a cup of tea with them. Sit down. Make sure you do your altars, you do it out of love. Not because you want to ask something, you need favors. They're there to help us. Oh yes, I did some asking this morning regarding some things. I went to my ancestors. I went to my mom, called her name up personally. My mom. I went to Oshun. There's some things I'm looking for. And I went to Isis, beautiful Isis. And I went to first and foremost my God. Okay, because without my God, Isis and Oshun and all the ancestors and myself would never exist. So these are the things. One second, you guys. I really thought I turned this phone down. Um, so have a cup of tea with them, but make sure that you're not building an altar just to be that begging child or that begging family member. I need this, I need that. Spend some time with them. Have a cup of tea with them. And the reason why I keep saying it is tea is soothing. It's calming. Get you some chamomile if it's late at night. Light their candles and sit with them for a while. Acknowledge them. Because the more that we acknowledge them, the more that they can come to us. They want to come to us. But if we forget about them, we leave them stagnant. Do you want to be treated that way? You're walking the earth. What if everyone just act like you weren't there? How would you feel? That's how it is with our ancestors. Because a lot of us have lost this culture of reaching our ancestors. There's nothing to be afraid of at all. They're your family. Yeah, some of them have been some assholes when they was here. But you know what to do. You know how to deal with them. You dealt with them when they were here. You got to love on them. You got to bless them. Like I said, they're having a cup of tea this morning. They all got fresh water this morning. You know, once again, I don't know if you saw my last video, but when you put water, which water is a living object, has to be on their altar at all times. When you change their water, find some plants or go outside and pour it in the grass. Don't just pour it down the drain. Don't waste Oshun's water. Don't waste it. That's an element that we need. So give life to something, a plant or something. I love you guys. I said this is a short video, and for me, this is really short. I just want you guys to get to know your ancestors, to call on them, to love them. And those of you who've just recently lost someone very dear to you, give it some time. I'm here with you. There's some good days and some bad days. I'm very emotional at this time in my life. Things that normally wouldn't really bother me are bothering me. So I light my candles of love, pink for unconditional love, for the love of myself. And it's okay. It's okay to be angry with your ancestors. Tell them how you feel. I tell my mother, how could you just leave me like that? Really? I'm mad at you because you left me here alone. I feel alone. Yes, I have my husband and my kids, but my mom has been in my life almost 54 years. She died 2 months before my 54th birthday. Okay? I've known her since I've been in her womb. And I miss her. So I have to find another way in order to communicate. Unlike today. Got to give the lady some money. Her and my other family members. So they can do what they have to do there. Love on them. Don't beg. Love on them. When you're feeling hurt, lonely, talk to them. When you're having those good days, share your days with them. Watch the power of the ancestors. You'll feel them. You'll start to notice them more and more. This is Starfire Queen. Thank you for watching my channel. If you're new, please hit the subscribe button, the like button, the little bell so you know when I'm on, and share this. Leave a comment at the bottom how you guys feel. For my Starfire Unique on Facebook, I love you all. Love you, love you, love you. To our new members, welcome. I am believing the ancestors. This is what I've asked for. That this time next year, I'll have 2,000 subscribers. And this is what I believe. Almighty God is going to give them the ability to do this for me. I love you all. Keep your third eye open and listen with that third eye. Watch and see your ancestors reach out to you. Your throat chakra. Speak to your ancestors. Talk to them. Tell them how you feel. Have a cup of tea. Your heart chakra, love on them. Let them know that they're not forgotten and that they still mean so much to you. Many, many blessings.